Long ago, on the shores of southern Japan, a temple was built near the site of a naval battle that concluded a long and gruesome conflict. The Genpei Wars, fought in the 12th century between the rebellious Minamoto warriors and the ruling Taira clan, had taken countless lives. And for centuries after, performers throughout the country honored this tragic past in beautiful, haunting performances. But legend has it the most skilled storyteller of all was a monk from this very temple. Hoichi was a biwa hoshi, a blind performer who sang songs of battle while playing an instrument called the biwa. When he told the temple's tale, his voice rose and fell, like soldiers in battle, his instrument becoming one with the crashing waves and clashing blades. One night, a samurai pounded at the temple doors, demanding the biwa hoshi's presence. When Hoichi answered, the samurai said he'd been sent to bring the monk to his master, a nobleman eager to hear Hoichi's performance. The monk agreed to follow the samurai. However, as they walked, the ground seemed to twist and turn beneath his feet. Hoichi lost all sense of where and how long he had traveled, and suddenly they arrived at an imposing building. Stepping into the hall, Hoichi felt countless eyes watching him from the shadows. Then a voice boomed from the depths of the room, demanding he recount the tale of the Taira clan's horrific end. Hoichi trembled, but then he cleared his throat and plucked his first note. He sang of a war so terrible it had torn Japan apart. He sang of the Minamoto clan, who staged a bloodthirsty rebellion against the Taira. He sang about the endless battles and how, as the Taira's losses mounted, they fled to the southern shores to protect their emperor, a child only 6 years old. Finally, he sang of their defeat, how when they were trapped and overwhelmed by their rivals' forces, the emperor's grandmother threw herself and her grandson into the sea. When Hoichi finished, sounds of weeping filled the air. The nobleman's voice rang out, commanding Hoichi to return and retell his tale for 6 more nights. In exchange, he would be rewarded handsomely, so long as he kept those visits secret. The monk agreed, and for several nights Hoichi walked with the samurai through the shadows. While he said nothing of this to the other monks, one evening the head priest noticed Hoichi's absence. He ordered his servants to watch the young musician, and that night they saw Hoichi rise from his bed and creep outside the temple walls. To their astonishment, he settled in the nearby graveyard and began performing while surrounded by floating balls of ghostly fire. The terrified servants dragged Hoichi to the head priest, and upon hearing their story, their leader was filled with dread. He announced that Hoichi had been summoned by the ghosts of the Taira themselves, and if he appeared before them again, he would surely perish. To protect the biwa hoshi, the head priest painted Buddhist sutras all over Hoichi's body as a form of mystical protection. He also told the monk that no matter who he encountered that night, he must remain completely still and silent. That evening, when the phantom samurai arrived to collect Hoichi, the sutras rendered the monk's body invisible to the spectre. The samurai was about to lash out in a furious rage when he spotted 2 floating ears. In his haste, the head priest had forgotten to protect Hoichi's ears, and screeching with anger, the samurai cut them from the monk's body. But despite the pain, Hoichi remained still and silent. The biwa hoshi's blood-curdling experience became known far and wide. People rushed to hear him recount the trials of the Taira and his encounter with their souls. And while Hoichi was never visited by ghosts again, his performances reminded listeners of their sacrifices and suffering. Today, Hoichi's tale is one of Japan's best-known ghost stories. His statue can be found among stones commemorating the fallen Taira warriors, reminding us to both honor the past and avoid getting trapped in the cycles of history. The stories that we pass down help us better understand the past and sometimes even the present. Subscribe to this channel and never miss a myth.